Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's six-man series, part 4, organized by myself, dfthaman, and Heisenberg Luke. Tonight, co-commentating with me is the legendary Papa Capes. Papa Capes, how are you doing, sir?
Good evening all. It is once again a privilege for me to be able to be a part of this as a caster. I am looking forward to what tonight's event has in store for us. I see that we've got a very creative lineup tonight. Styles of plays that are going to come together. It just excites me. The entire idea and the thought of what could happen excites me.
Yes, I definitely agree with you, Capes. I think this is a very interesting lineup. I think just to make our viewers aware of how tonight works, firstly, all these players, including the casting and commentating team, are all on PlayStation 4. So this is indeed a PlayStation 4 exclusive. This will be a best of 7 as well. So a best of 7 means that the team that win 4 games, the first team to win 4 games, will be tonight's winners as well. And then also to remember, these teams are then also randomized before. So right, so how it works is, Luke and I invited 6 PlayStation 4 players to compete in tonight's tournament, and then Luke randomized them into teams beforehand as well. We did choose 2 team captains as well, Pro Noob and Heisenberg Luke, who will be facing each other. So, Papa Case, what do you think of that matchup, Pro Noob versus Heisenberg Luke?
These are definitely 2 vets in the scene. Heisenberg Luke is definitely one of the most solid players in the competitive league, knowing that his team can always count on him to be solid. And then you get Pro Noob, who's not really in the DGL side of competitive things, but he's made his name in the ACGL side of things, and he's definitely a very, very good ones player. And I also like the fact that he reminds me a bit of Cooksa. And when I say that, I mean that he's extremely creative. In the midst of a game, regardless of what's going on, whether all the momentum's against him, he'll go for a ceiling shot. And he'll be like, I've got this, have faith, and he'll just nail it. Yes. And you can't predict that, and it's difficult to defend. Yes. So, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yes, I agree with you, Capes. I think Pro Noob is definitely a very, very good player. He's highly ranked at the moment as well, in ranked as well. I think one of his speciality playlists is 2v2 as well. But he's also a very, very good threes player. I think one of the things that I've realized playing with Pro Noob is that he favors the Dominus, and there's a reason for that. He's a very good dribbler, and I think that's one of the things with the Dominus car. It makes it a bit easier to get the ball onto the roof of your car, dribble with it, and then flick. So I think we might see some dribbles and flicks coming in from Pro Noob tonight. And also, like Capes, you said, like, he's a very good in the air, like coming in with maybe a freestyle or an angle shot. He's very good to position his car in the air, to hit it with the right, correct side of his car, to either pass to a teammate or to score an incredible aerial goal.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll let the viewers in on a little secret about Pro Noob, that him and I have been competing for the top spot in the country for about the last month on PS4 in the threes playlist. So we've got a little bit of some positive beef going on, him and I. But I love him to bits, and he helps me up my game when needed.
Yes, and I think the other player we can also speak now about is tonight's rival for Pro Noob is Heisenberg Luke. What do you make of the play style of Heisenberg Luke compared to Pro Noobs?
Like I said when I was talking about Luke Nana, is that he's extremely reliable and he's solid. He really is a solid player. So if he's got, let's say he's learned to adapt to the team tonight. He's been flexible. He's said, okay, cool, this is my role for this evening. I'm going to own it. Once Luke gets that, then the opposing team, including Pro Noob, is going to have problems. Because Luke, if he decides to do a job, yes, he does it 110%, and you rarely see him make a mistake when he's committed to that job. So it's going to be a close one between those 2 boys tonight.
When I did some research on these two guys into preparing for tonight's 6 months as well, I realized that they actually do have a lot of similarities between them. So we spoke about Cronin just now. He's very good in the air as well as with dribbling, and that's something we can say of Luke as well. Like, he's also an incredible dribbler as well. I know he practices a lot, like, you know, getting the ball on his score, dribbling with it, and then flicking it as well. So he's also very good in that regard, and also aerials, like you spoke about now, dependability. I think one of the things that Luke is so consistent with is when you pass to him anywhere in the field, he's able to put the ball in via an aerial. And I think that's one thing for tonight as well that we can keep in mind, is that both of those two players, ProNoob and Luke, can either destroy the opposing team 1v1 with a nice sick dribble, or if the teammates, they can pass to them as well via the air, then we will also see them being very good at that as well. So I think tonight we have two very, very good players going up against each other, and I think both teams will really try and depend on their players as well.
No, definitely, DF, I couldn't agree with you more. I guess the million-dollar question is, are their teammates going to be able to use them in the air with passes, or are they going to let their teams down because of too much focus on solo play? So who is going to adapt to their team the best?
That's a very valid question, guys, and I think let's look at that by looking at firstly at the blue team for tonight, who is going to be Team Biltong as well. So Team Biltong consists of ProNoob, I Am Noob, as well as Samurai Worthy as well. So let's talk about I Am Noob. I know, Capes, you have played a bit with Zach as well, who is I Am Noob.
Yes, definitely. I've played a bit with I Am Noob and Major Pain, and I mean, the first time I played with them both was a couple of months back. And I mean, we all remember those days when we were just starting out and getting used to what the game has to offer regarding physics and mechanics. But these two guys, let's focus on I Am Noob for now. He has improved an insane amount over the last, let's say, 2 or 3 months. And that's purely because he's obviously found his groove in the game. He's found a play style that he's comfortable with, and he's focused on that play style. And I mean, when we do some local scrims, he comes up with saves and clears and shots that I just didn't expect.
Yes, definitely. That's one thing I'm also wanting to say, like, about I Am Noob, is his reliability in defense is really something to look out for tonight, because like you said, he makes amazing saves. You think that ball's going in and just suddenly Zach is there to save it. So definitely I think that will fit in very well with the team style. I think especially in this team where ProNoob might be, if ProNoob wants to be aggressive, then they can also rely on I Am Noob to maybe hang better back and just be clearing everything up as well, and making sure that the defense is stable.
Yes, 100%, Def, 100%. And that just adds to why I'm excited about this evening's game, because there's so many question marks that I have and I need them answered.
Okay, yeah, and I think what we will move now, like, this was the first of 2 warm-up games, just to inform our viewers. So we like to start off with a fun match, maybe Rumble, maybe Drop Shot. Maybe next time we will do an ice hockey, but for now we started with a drop shot warm-up. And why the reason for these warm-up games is because we've already placed the teams into their respective comms parties as well. So this is basically just for them to get to know each other, to gel with each other as well, and to get to know each other's play styles. And what will happen then is we will now play another warm-up game, but this will be a normal game mode, just to get them, you know, the juices flowing for when the actual best of 7 start. Capes, I can maybe ask you this question, since you play competitive quite a lot and are also really good and well known in the South African scene. How important is it, firstly, to warm up, and secondly, to play with the team, you know, in a team setting? How important is that?
It is extremely important for numerous reasons, DF. I personally use ranked to warm up because I feel that training offline, or obviously not in the competitive or the ranked system the game has to offer, only warms up your muscles, but it has nothing to do with your mentality. So whilst using ranked to warm up, obviously that works on your mental muscles, if I can use that as an analogy, but then also your muscles. But now when you speak as gelling as a team, it is so difficult if you compare solo standard 3v3 against a standard 3v3 with a team. Why? Because absolutely no one has any idea of what's going on. Double commitments, lack of communication because nobody's communicating with comms. out of position, no rotation, one player trying to carry too much because he feels deep down inside his heart that he's the best Rocket League player in the world. And this just allows for them to sort of allocate themselves roles, and then obviously to utilize those roles when the matches begin of the BO7 series.
Yes. So as you hear, guys, this is really important for these teams to get to know each other a bit. Like they have been playing in some of our privates that is sometimes arranged just for fun. They've been playing with each other, but never have they played with each other on a stream in a much more competitive setting. So I think this is going to be very interesting to see how these teams shape up. So I think we can expect little mistakes like double commits and, you know, etc., etc. But I think it might come down to the team who's going to make the least of those little mistakes to actually take this best of 7.
Yes, yes, yes. At the end of the day, it comes down to not only who makes the most mistakes, but who capitalizes on the least mistakes. Because a team can make 10 mistakes, but if only one of them are being capitalized on, that's not going to give the other team an upper hand. So if every mistake is being capitalized on, that will then lead to that team being victorious.
I definitely agree with you there, Kev. So this is going to be very interesting to see tonight. Let's talk about the last blue member team, Samurai Werty. I know him a bit personally. I've played with him a few times. I would say him, Zach, David, and Major Payne are some of the players that I think are the future of PlayStation Rocket League. They are players who I see improve a lot, and one of the players that really improved a lot in the last few months is Samurai Werty. I know he plays a lot and he trains as well, and we can really see that paying off in his playstyle as well. He's a really good player as well, and I think he can really become a top player in the future as well.
Yes, Dave, I definitely agree with you. I remember the day we met Samurai Werty, you and I were queuing 2v2 ranked, and then we saw that their ping were exactly the same as ours,
yes.
And we immediately jumped at the opportunity, are you from South Africa? And they were like, yes. Yes. So that's where it all started. One thing that I enjoy about Samurai is it's not only taking just the game and playing the game seriously. He's also getting involved in the community, he's getting involved in the trading, he's always posting messages in the local Rocket League group, he's always responding to messages so nobody feels like nobody's there to listen. So that all contributes to what we're trying to do in this country with the Rocket League community, is getting proactive players, whether it be to host an event to give away a heat wave and white zombas, or to come together on a Friday night and play some randomly drawn 3v3 6-mans with amazing results today.
Yes, yes. I think that's really important for the South African scene as well, is getting players involved, and that's one of the reasons we are doing the 6-mans tonight, and that's the reasons why we try to arrange as many as possible, is to get the scene growing. As we know that the Rocket League scene in South Africa, very close-knit and tight community, but it isn't as large yet as we would like it to be. And you know, if people get involved and participate in events, and like you guys, I probably appreciate you guys watching this tonight, commentating in the YouTube section as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think that all of us are now currently part of growing the scene and making it get even bigger and better. And like you said, some of these players tonight really also exemplifies that as well in their play style and in the way they just, you know, like you said, reacting to messages, playing tournaments, etc., etc. This actually brings me to another player who I've seen a lot now recently in the South African community, and I've played with him and we've actually become good friends as well, is David dfthaman, playing for the Orange team. How much do you know about David dfthaman, and what about his playstyle for tonight excites you, Capes?
I think what excites me about his playstyle, or that's worded incorrectly, what excites me about him as a player is that I've never seen him play on a competitive setting. I've never been able to watch him in a competitive setting. I know that I've played against him, but in a less competitive social setting. So I'm very keen to see what mentality he brings to the game. Is he a player that gets tilted quickly if he makes some mistakes? Is he too hard on himself? Can he accommodate his teammates? So that is definitely what adds to this as a fresh scene, is that not everybody's known. So you never know what to expect. Somebody can just come up with something amazing that's unexpected.
Yeah, almost like a breakout kind of player you can see tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I know that David's also trying to get in on the trading scene. I get frequent messages from him. Hey, Papa Capes, what's the price of this? What's the price of that? So, like I'm saying, it's just they're not only players; they're trying to enjoy the game to its fullest, and that's what's good.
And I think, yeah, like maybe I can answer some of those questions as well of David. Like, I know he's a very, very competitive player. He tries to improve all the time. If you hear how many hours he's put into the game so far, and you look at how good he is, it's almost mind-blowing. Like, I think he has almost now, let's say, I think it's about 300 to 400 hours in the game, and he can do stuff that I couldn't even dream of doing when I was at that level, right? So I think if David continues the way he is continuing now and improving now and doing his training packs, playing with different people, playing with people better than him, you know, speaking and being active of the South African community, I think in the future we will see him in a very, very good team, playing ACGL, playing tournaments, you know, competing at DGC perhaps even one day, because I think he does have the potential and the talent to do that.
No, definitely, Dave. I couldn't agree more. That chuckle, just to let you in on a little secret, when I was in at 300, 400 hours, I think I put that many hours in playing local split screen. I didn't know about air roll or anything like that. So trust me when I say that he can definitely give himself a pat on the back for reaching where he is, obviously based on your words of seeing him in the competitive scene already.
Yes. And then, not to leave out the last player of the Orange team, Team Drovos for tonight, is of course Major Payne. What do you think about Major Payne, Capes?
Major Payne, like I touched on briefly earlier, Lionel and Zach, I met them together. I'm sure that they're mates. I'm sure that they're very good mates. They're always in the same party, always playing at the same time. When I join them, they're always in the lobby together. And then these guys are guys that are growing at a similar pace. They're sharing the passion for the game. I'm sure the one researches something and sends the other one a link on WhatsApp and is like, listen here, bud, check this out. I think it's going to help your game. And they're constantly doing that. And that could potentially be why they're both improving at their game as quickly as they are. Because, I mean, Zach and Lionel, which is I Am Noob and Major Payne, when I started playing with them a few months ago to where they are now, gents, to both of you, it is insane how much you guys have improved.
I definitely agree. Major Payne also a very fast improving player. I haven't played too much with him, but I've played with him a few times as well, and he's a very nice guy. I know he's also very competitive as well. I know he's a very, very good Overwatch player too. He has won some of the ACGL tournaments, so we can look at him tonight as well, you know, bringing in some like competitive edge maybe to his team tonight.
No, definitely. One thing that's nice about an FPS game like Overwatch is your reaction time is unreal. So if there's 3 seconds left and he's the one in between the ball and the net and he needs to make the save for his team to win, they're going to rely on him to do that, and he's got the upper hand because of his reflexes.
Yes. Okay, so before we start with the best of 7, I just want to let all the viewers know, so there has been a slight change to the lineup, which I forgot to mention actually. So initially Ninja Badger RSA would have played tonight, but because of family commitments he won't be available for the rest of this weekend. So it's unfortunate, but we had to then replace him with someone else, and that's why Luke is playing tonight in his place, basically. So one of the organisers of this tournament, Heisenberg Luke, will be playing tonight for Team Drovos as well. The other thing is, yes, it's now the best of 7 will start. So as I explained, it's the first team that wins 4 games. Alright, so even a 4-0 or 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, the team that wins 4 games wins the best of 7 series. And then we have a little surprise about MVPs. Maybe Case would like to tell us more about that.
Yes, okay, so the one part of the surprise I've already informed DF about, and that is to our viewers listening, after every game, we are going to do a brief 30-second to a 1-minute interview of the MVP of that game. I'll ask him a question, DF will ask him a question, and if you guys want to comment in the stream with questions that you'd like us to ask them so that you can get some input to add to your game, please do so. But then obviously we'll invite them into the voice chat, they'll have a quick interview and then they'll go back and the next game will begin. And the second half of the surprise is this is where I need the guys watching the stream and DF. At the end of the best of 7, none of the players know this, but at the end of the best of 7, I'm going to give a hex away to the guy who's voted MVP of the entire series.
Ooh, that sounds promising and exciting. I'm very excited for that. So yes, guys, please, in the chat, while we're playing the games, let us know who you think is going to be the MVP. At the end, we will basically work on your comments, then to choose an MVP for the whole series. But as Kate said, for each game we will have an MVP, and we will have someone and drew them into the voice party to have a quick chat with them, talk about them, about the past game and the coming games. And that's just also for you guys also to get to know the players, you know. Sometimes we do this local scenes, but we don't really know the players in depth. We don't know how they sound like, what they look like. Unfortunately, we won't have a face cam for you, but at least we will have their voices for you tonight so that you can listen to them and also maybe get a little insight into how they think about the game, which I also think is really insightful sometimes.
Yes, definitely. I'm glad that you added that. And at the end of the day, for anybody watching from overseas, hashtag Psionics, we want South African servers. Thank you.
Right, and on that note, I think we can begin the best of 7. I told, I'm in contact here with Heisenberg Luke, told him to join now, so as soon as they're ready, we will start this, hopefully, epic best of 7.
There we go. And I love the fact that none of them know that if they just do what's needed, they're solid, and they get voted the MVP of the entire series, they get a mystery detail.
I actually want to ask you about this, case. What do you think either team needs to do to come out on top tonight? What do they need to do? What don't they need to do to actually be the champions for tonight?
They need instant synergy, instant chemistry. It doesn't just happen, but sometimes it can just click. And if one of the teams has that and the other doesn't, the one that does will come out on top.
Yes, and I think that something we spoke about now was about the team that's making the least mistakes, and the team that can best capitalize on those mistakes is most probably going to be the winner.
Yes, definitely. And also, just actually going back to basics, because this is technically a solo standard. So as you can see there's 50-50s happening. Guys are still unsure. They're feeling each other out. Luke comes in with an insane aerial, but Crone Luke's there for the dribble. An amazing clear. Sorry, not a dribble, but the save was made by David. And this is all off. But then Pro was there for the goal. I was still busy talking to try and get to my point, and he just comes to it exactly as we spoke about. The unpredictability.
Yes, Pronup there with a very, very big boomer shot there. 102 kilometers per hour, coming in straight on goal. Clinical as we know him. 1-0, blue team.
Yeah, they're on the kickoff. They're there from the orange team. I think it's Draw Voice. You see some confusion in who's going for the kickoffs. And that's what I was talking about with their chemistry. They need to get it quickly. They need to remember, stick to basics. And that's what's going to get you to win this game.
That's very important, Kat. I think sticking to the basics in these kind of games where you don't know your opponent so well, where you don't know your teammates so well, if you can just do the basics right, you know, textbook kind of plays, like, for example, big clears. You know,
like
that's one thing in South African scene that, yes, that's one thing in South African scene we see a lot of the better teams nowadays do. It's just getting big clears, putting the opposing team under pressure immediately again, and then capitalizing on the pressure to score goals.
Yes, 100%, yeah. But, ooh, another goal by Pro. Is this the beginning of a series sweep? Is he just getting his momentum? This is what raises the question. There's nothing more David could do there besides perhaps getting into a better position before the shot was taken. But this is all in the first game. They're feeling each other out. And let's see, is this a honeymoon for Pro Noob, or is this going to last?
Yes, we know, I mean, Capes, you and I know a lot about honeymoon periods when it comes to our team, VXP, Vex Phoenix Elementrix as well, where in the beginning you play really well as a team, when you start to come together for the first time, play well, you know, win matches, and then suddenly, you know, it just doesn't go so well. Then you need to work on those little kinks in your game, you need to work on those little things in your game and sort them out, and then the hard work really begins. But tonight we don't have time for that. They need to, like you say, energize instantly, and hopefully this honeymoon period for them can last for at least 4 games so that they can take this best of 7.
Yes, no, definitely. And I wanted to touch on something. Like, each of these players are obviously working on individual skills. They're doing individual training. And when a player is working on getting better, he takes a performance slump when he actually gets worse, because there's just so much going on in his head. Can they, as individuals, put that on hold to accommodate the team for this series? That is also another very important question.
Yes, I think tonight, like we might see some individual plays coming in, but definitely the team who plays the best together as a unit tonight is going to win, because I think when you play threes, as we know, like the individual plays usually are far less the determining factors for winning games. Usually it's the team who just plays consistently and we see a fantastic goal coming in there from Major Payne. What a shot. Let me see here. Unfortunate pass from Samurai Wiki trying to clear it, but unfortunately for him the ball falls straight to Major Payne, who's shooting it right into the corner. Another boomer there coming in for 100 kilometers per hour, and suddenly the Orange team are back into this.
Yep, that's their most important factor right now in the first game, is getting, excuse me, getting that little bit of momentum. Taking that momentum, building on it, and utilizing it throughout the series. But I can see that they're still struggling a bit with their communications as there's numerous guys in goal. However, it's allowed Lucas now to go on the quick counter attack. The Pro Noobs in a lovely place for defense, and there's 50-50s going around. It's a bit of ping pong happening right now. DF, a question for you. In the early game, the first game of a BO7 series, what do you feel these teams need to focus on as a unit, so as a team of three, to come out on top and take that momentum into the series?
I think honestly what they need to do is not rush things. They don't need to rush now. They just need to try and get their rhythm, try to get as much time on the ball as possible, maybe try a few passes to each other, clearing the ball big, just keeping it extremely basic in these early games, because if you can get your rhythm and your momentum in the first game and take that into going into the second game, you're putting the team under so much pressure. It's like in tennis, like the first person to win that first point immediately puts the other person under pressure. And it's the same here. The person who wins this first game already puts the other team at such a deficit, and the other team already immediately under pressure, because now they need to win a game just to draw level, whereas the other team already have a game in hand. So if they can just keep it, quite steady, just basic, but, get the momentum, keep control of the ball, maybe get a few bumps in here as well, just to get the other team off their rhythm, then it bodes very, very well for the future games of that specific team.
Yes, 100% correct, DF. I couldn't agree with you more.
We see Pro Noob, he's going for his signature dribbles, but then Major Payne is David DeFato steering it upfield. I'm Noob there. He's going for an aerial. Is he going to make this? Is he going? I am Noob! With probably one of the closest shots that I've seen in quite a long time. Look at that. If that went in, I think he would have been a happy man for tonight. He would have said, GG's gents, that's it for me tonight.
Yes, no, definitely, that's what he would have done. Def, I'm just going to send or invite Pro Noob into the party here with us so we can have that quick interview with him. Were you expecting it to be Pro Noob in the first game? Did you have your money on anybody in particular?
I think my money for the first game would have either been on Heisenberg Luke or the Pro Noob. I think whichever team won, blue team, it would have been Pro Noob. If it was orange team, then it would have been Luke. Because I think because they're captains for tonight as well, they know that, right, okay, first game, I need to almost try and carry my team a bit, get them into this rhythm. And therefore they're going to try and control the pace of the game, and that means that they also get the most touches on the ball, which then makes them obviously the most valuable player for the team for that specific game, the first game.
Yes, no, definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. And I also thought it would either be Pro Noob or Luke, but that's just because the guys have been at a higher rank for a bit longer. So it takes them a bit shorter to get into the groove of things, and also to warm up the muscle memories, to get involved with the mechanics of the game and the physics. So that's why I also put my money on one of them.
Yes, definitely. We see Pro Noob entering the party now. Hey, Pro Noob, how are you, man? I'm good, thanks. Listen, how was that first game for you? First game in this best of 7. What did you think you and your team did well in this first game to actually win it as well?
All right, yeah, well, that's definitely something that we also touched on in the stream. And then Pro Noob, from my side, give us a little bit of, give us a fly on the wall of a room that you guys are in your comms. What's the comms like? What are you guys talking about? Who's taking charge? Is there a leader? I know that you're captain, but I know that you're also quite a quiet type. So what's your comms like? All right, brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us for the brief 30-second Pro Noob, and good luck for the rest of the series, bud. Sweet. Yeah, dear, so it's interesting. You can hear in his tone of voice, I don't know if he was a bit shaken by the game or shaken by, hey, mom, I'm on TV.
I think he's just so focused as well. Like, it's like, you know, I'm live, I'm here having an interview with dfthaman and Copper Cave, so I think maybe that as well. And you like said, maybe his mom's watching tonight as well, so he's like, oh yeah, I don't need to remember that.
Yeah, he's been quite off or out of the scene, if I can say that, recently, because school has been demanding for him.
Yes.
Because I was sort of sending him some messages as to, hey bud, why are you slacking? He's like, oh, school's killing me. So yeah, so one of the things that you touched on there is he is focused, and that is also why this adds another element or another dimension to the 6-man's events, because now a guy that just came MVP has to take away that focus, join a voice party, talk nonsense with some casters, go back into the game and regather that focus so that he can perform again. Is he able to do that?
Yes, that's a very, very good point you bring up there, Gapes. Is that where you need to, yes, you won the first game, but don't now think about only that. You just like you put your mistakes behind you, you need to also put your victories behind you, because you need to focus on the next game now, right? You can't think, oh yeah, I won the first best of 1, or the first game in this best of 7, now I'm just going to relax and go on. No, now you need to think, okay, what did I do well in that game? What can I still do better? What is the other team doing that I can exploit? Yes. And I need to go into the next games doing that exactly.
100%, that is correct. And once you make that a habit of regathering your thoughts, recomposing yourself, treating every game as if it's the first game but also the last game of a series, you'll be just fine.
Yes, and we see the teams coming out now. It seems like it's a bit of ping pong here in the beginning. And Heisenberg coming up downfield, but it's immediately cleared away by Samurai Werty. Japan there to mop it up. And good pass here to Heisenberg Luke, but I'm new quickly intercepting that. David deflected with a good goal line clearance there. Go Noob. Whoa, there's a guy dribble coming. Is it going in? Oh,
no, it's going just off to the right. Just off to the right. And it's very difficult to get some momentum and speed on your ball if you're dribbling from a standstill position. But then again, it's also hard to dribble at supersonic speed. So you need to find the balance in between those two speeds to get the most out of your dribble. Samurai Werty's faced with an open goal. David the Freight is missing it with an inch. And I think that just comes down to the little bit of field awareness, because how to know exactly, should I jump off the post? Should I go down onto the field? Would he have made the save mechanically, or I don't know. But he just missed it, and that's a goal for Biltong.
Yes, 1-0 to Team Biltong. Biltong getting the first draw of the blood here in Game 2 in this best of 7 series. For all our new viewers tuning in just now, remember this is the best of 7, first team to win 4 games. The first game was won by the blue team, aka Team Biltong, and it seems like Team Biltong is taking that momentum into this next game. And we see a goal there coming again in from Samurai Werty. His brother was just now in chat saying, or predicting that that Werty will score at least once. And just after that, Werty scored the first goal, and just after that, Werty scored a second goal. So you're making your little brother very, very proud, my man.
That's the way. And Noob was also there. I am Noob, sorry, was also there with that assist. I don't know if he intended to do the backflip to get the pass through without losing possession, or is it maybe a dodge dead zone that he needs to fiddle with? I guess I'll find out from him so that I can share that with you guys as well.
Yeah, and again we see the Team Biltong just getting the stronger clears, getting the plays, making less mistakes, and that's why they're 2-0 up at the moment, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. They also seem like they're taking this game and using the momentum from the previous game. A lucky ground pinch there or let me not say lucky, just a ground pinch there that obviously took momentum and just changed it onto the other side of the field. And now David won a 50-50. He goes up for this aerial, but Werthy's on the backboard. And I know that you guys love touching on backboard clears and how important it is. DF, I've never heard your side of things in detail about how important a backboard read is.
I think backboard clears is also something, and we see a goal there coming in from Heisenberg Luke. As we said before the game, his aerial capability is second to none in the South African scene. Look at that, how quickly he goes up. It's in the middle of the field, right? And he still beats the entire team just by being up quicker than them, and then scoring a goal into an open net. And you see that Werthy feeling that was a pinch of the car there. But Heisenberg Luke up very quickly, and well-deserved goal. And again we see a 2-1 lead to Team Biltong, scoring the first 2 goals, and then Team Orange, Team Dribbles basically getting one back. So maybe this time around the second goal can actually be scored again then by the Orange team, which can help them to come back into this game. But getting back to your previous point, Coach, I think that the backboard clears are very important. It is something that sometimes a lot of players struggle with, because wall play doesn't come very intuitive to a lot of people. Immediately when they go on the wall, like side wall, back wall, immediately then they're a bit disorientated, right? But once you figure that out, how your car works and where left and right actually takes your car relative to the field in front of you, and you can actually, be confident on the walls, then it makes it easier for you to play on the backboard, because a lot of teams nowadays trying to use the backboard as a tool for hitting it hard against the backboard, basically passing it to another player and then scoring a goal. So if you can be good on the backboard and clear that ball on the backboard before the other team can basically put a danger pass in, it's really going to help your team to relieve pressure and also be a very dependable player to be on the backboard.
Yes, no, definitely. You summed it up very nicely. One thing that I do a lot on the backboard, just briefly, is as soon as I feel like a certain scenario disorients me, oh, David the Freight is just missing a clear. Sorry, I'll get back to my point. But he missed the save, but then also the ball was pushed to the right. Luke making a critical save, with David the Freight is rotating in behind him to make another save. That is unreal. That was exciting play there. Let's see if they can recuperate themselves and get back on the attack to get that tiebreaker, and maybe we can see our first overtime in the series.
We see a little bit of an overcommit there on Team Dribbles, but immediately the save coming in from Luke to deny one of the blue team players, and then David the Freight was making an exceptional save. And we see Werthy with the hat-trick coming in. Look at his score at the moment. He is on fire.
Yes, no, definitely. And this is quite ironic, because there's a thing in sports called the commentator's curse. And as soon as somebody says you're going to do something, it never happens. However, his brother must have the luck of the Irish, because his brother wanted one. Samurai is like, I will give you 3 times more than what you asked for.
And we can just say Samurai Werthy single-handedly putting this game behind Orange team so far. We're not ruling out that there's a comeback for Team Orange, but on the look of it, I think the momentum and everything is on the side of the blue team.
Yes, no, definitely. And there you see, I don't know if it's miscommunication, I don't know if it's rotation, I don't know if it's just the fact that they're not gelling as a team. But Ian Noob slotted that in from inside his own half. That is brilliant. That is honestly brilliant, but it also shows that there is a weakness in the defense of Drivos, and if they don't sort that out in the next game, then we might have a difficult situation for them to deal with.
Yeah, I definitely do think that what Orange team needs to do now is just get the momentum in these last few seconds, just so that they can go into the next game with momentum.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And the ball's going to get down just for the going to end, so we'll do that, yes he will. And we've got Biltong taking that one, and it really is interesting that, again, one team is taking victory after victory. So it is 2-0 to Biltong right now. And we've got a new MVP, so DF, I don't know if you would like to just invite him into the voice chat there so that we can have a quick interview. Hopefully his voice is shared in the party settings. I'm not sure if Pro Noob's voice was shared. Let's hope it was. And you see there Samurai coming out with 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 shots. Heisenberg Luke being the top of his team on the side of Drivos with 1 goal and 1 save. But I think that's the problem right there. Obviously, is you don't see enough shots on the side of Joe Vos. There's 2 for the entire team, excluding the goal of Luke, obviously. And then you see the total of 7 shots coming from the team of Biltong.
Indeed, Capes. I think, Samurai, can you hear us? Okay, just make sure that your settings are enabled to share your voice so that the viewers can also hear you, please.
If you go into your party settings, yeah. Yes, there'll be the 4th spanner, allow your voice to be shared. And then just make sure that's on always allow, yeah.
Always allow. Ah, okay, cool.
Alright, so Samurai, so first of all, congratulations on the victory of the 2nd game of the series, and you are obviously the MVP. Can you tell me a bit about the game? How do you feel mentally after this game going into the rest of the series?
Well, I mean, we're just gelling together. Nothing too special. Just getting some really good passes. Some luck, of course. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Can you maybe give us a little bit insight, Werty, on how the comms is currently working in your team? Are the comms working? Is it okay? Are you guys getting along well? Or is the calls...
Everything's going well. Quite a lot of humor. Nice and relaxed.
Yeah, humor is honestly...
Yeah.
A lot of boost is needed, apparently.
Yeah.
And I'm not even on the field.
Samurai, I'm going to let you in on a little secret speaking about humor. So before, when the scores were still 0-0, your brother in the YouTube chat said, I really hope my brother can score a goal. And just after that, you scored 1 goal. Then you scored another goal. And then you come up with this amazing hat-trick of goals carrying your team to victory. So I think you're making your big brother proud tonight.
Did you hear the little cute? Oh,
good luck. I'm pretty sure.
Well, good luck for the rest of the series.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Cool.
Cheers, Samurai.
Cheers.
Yeah, dear. Something that Samurai touched on there briefly is humor, and it is amazing how potent humor in comms can be for your team. It honestly is only beneficial if nobody has bad ADD. Then you can actually utilize the humor positively and productively for your team. If somebody's about to tilt, humor will change him. If somebody's losing focus, humor will get him back to focus if it's used correctly. But humor is extremely important in comms, to not just be serious and boring and all business. Everybody loves a party.
Yes, I do think that when you watch some of the pro streams as well, you will actually realize how light-hearted and how much humor there is and banter sometimes even, just to just to prevent that, let's say, nervousness and anxiousness and excitement get to them and get to their heads, get to their fingers even, get to their arms, get to their hearts, just so that they can relax, and play this game with an open mind.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the pros, or maybe he's not a pro in everybody's books, but I see him as a pro, is Sizz. That guy, I love listening to his comms. It honestly kills me every single time.
Yes, yeah, and that's so important is comms. Maybe Kev, you want to share how important is comms in general for a team? How important is it? Do you need to call every shot? Don't you need to call every shot? Do the other team need to know where you are every time? Or how does comms actually work in competitive Rocket League?
Okay, so my theory on this is that if you are a long existing team, right, your teammates already understand your play. So the amount of comms you feel is enough will be enough for your team, because both of you, or all 3 of you, are aware of the play styles. You know if he's going to go for that extra touch that somebody else might not know. You know if he's going to get this extra clear, or if he's going to fake this or that. Amazing save by Luke. Sorry, I just don't want to miss out on that. And David was in for the rotation there to make a secondary save, again keeping the score at 0-0. Yeah, I just don't want to miss out on any of this action. It just catches my eye. But I do think that for a new team, same as I said about Rocket League, in my opinion, stick to basics. It's I got it, no boost, 100 boost, I'm left, I'm back, I'm up, and then it leads to good player and everybody being aware.
Yes, that's so important what you mentioned there, Capes, is that comms doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to say, oh guys, I'm going for the ball, or guys, I am saving this. You can just say, I got it, it's mine, going for boost, left, right, you know, pass. Or you can just mention name and I will say Capes, and then Capes knows I'm going to pass to him, right? So comms can be short, but very, very powerful indeed still.
Yeah, I think a good advice for a new team coming up is use the in-game context of chat in your comms.
Yes,
I got it.
Yes.
Need boost. Then you can add your own left or back right or passing or backboard, etc.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good frame of reference, Scapes. Just try and be as short as that quick chat. That's a good indication of how comms should be like as well, especially in competitive Rocket League, and especially when you play in South Africa, because if you play, like, for example, like Discord servers and PSN servers are usually located in Europe or in the USA, so comms is a little bit delayed. So if you're gonna have too many lines of comms at once, I can say too many things at once, it's not going to be to the benefit of your team. So it's just better for yourself and for your team to just keep it short as well. Because I mean, especially at the higher levels, the plays are so fast that you can't take and say too many things, right? It just needs to be this, that. You know, short and powerful.
No, definitely. Whilst you were talking about the comms at DF, I see that Luke is sort of maybe getting his groove. I see him getting the confidence to go for the dribbles we spoke of earlier. He wasn't successful though. I Am Noob was there with a clear. But then you see him in the area confidently going and getting a solid hit on that ball. It was slightly off target, but it did give his team, Blue Bulls, the momentum to perhaps go on the attack and get the first goal. It's been just over 2.5 minutes and it's still 0-0. And Major Payne, what is yes, no, I don't know. I think those 3 words that I said were what was going through Major Payne's head right there. Is yes, no, I don't know.
Oh, maybe he tried to fake himself? Somebody else? I don't know. It's unfortunate that happens. It's not that there's something wrong with his controller. It's just something, sometimes you happen, you get into the heat of the moment, you want to clear the ball, you want to hit it perhaps, and you just do an unfortunate feels backflip, man. So the advice for Major Payne is there, don't worry too much about it, man. Just put it behind you. The next one you will get.
Definitely. But I don't know if it was Major Payne that I touched on that perhaps has that issue with the dodge dead zone. Maybe he hasn't fiddled with it yet. Or it was just perhaps a spur of the moment. There you see him coming in. It obviously didn't affect him that much because 10 seconds later he comes in with a lovely shot on goal.
Yes.
Oh, Luke doing a feels backflip, man, there. Giving prone Luke the opportunity to take a shot, but he wasn't successful.
Good clear there from Luke from the backboard, and we can see Luke taking control of the ball now. And he's charging, but I think he ran out of boost there, so he left it, and then Pro Noob, giving Pro Noob time. That's one thing I think Pro Noob likes to have is time. If he can have time on the ball, as we said, he's a very good twos player, then he is going to create chances, as we saw just there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I Am Noob once again making a save that puts him on 2 saves for this game already, which is very good to have, and it again puts them the front foot. But they weren't able to capitalize. I see some explosions going on there. It's reminding me of Battlefield 1, but at least the stadium's still intact, which I can appreciate. Luke's going to take this up the wall. How much boost does he have? He gets a successful touch in it. Samurai's there for the clear. Oh, this is getting exciting. The first half of the game was quite quiet, but now the guys are picking it up.
Yes, and as we see here, as opposed to the previous matches, we only have a slender 1-0 lead to Team Biltong at the moment, and this is a very strange lead to have because you have 30 seconds left. Do you defend this lead? Do you try and maybe score another one? What do you think, Capes?
Oh, I think exactly what I Am Noob is doing, I would have done. I would have scored another goal. That's what I would have done, just to solidify my team and to tell them, I got you guys, I got you. I'm going to put this on my roof, I'm going to go left, I'm going to go right, and I'm hoping for a goal, and I got a goal. That's what's up.
And we see some of these players breaking out in these last 2 games. First Wafty with a hat-trick, and now Noob with 2 goals, putting his team up front, and most likely they are in pole position to win this game if we don't see an immediate comeback from Team Dribbles. And David de Freitas actually putting one back for the orange team, Team Dribbles. I believe that is his first goal of the night. We can see a nice little solo play coming in there for him, first carrying it downfield and then rushing himself. He has enough boost and then scoring a goal to give them 10 seconds to force overtime.
And the position of the kickoffs allow for that follow-up play to work successfully. And there you see Luke with an amazing kickoff. However, it was cleared. They've got 4 seconds. 3. Major Payne with the shot. It's on target, but it's saved by Pro Noob, but still in a dangerous position. David's going up.
David, the
he's got it. Oh no, that's brilliant. And from that amazing kickoff by Luke to the follow-up play, to the shot, the bad clearance made, we have our first overtime of the series.
Wow. Wow. That was amazing. David de Freitas suddenly popping off in the last 20 seconds of game 3 to make it 2-2 and force overtime. First we see an amazing individual goal from him, and then what an aerial goal coming in there, shooting it straight in the right hand corner of the goal. 2-2 overtime, and now suddenly Orange team look very, very dangerous and have the momentum on their side, although blue team is getting in some nice shots. As you see, an overcommit there from David de Freitas and Major Payne. De Freitas with a very nice block. And that's something we can, I want to mention about David de Freitas. He's a very, very good ones player as well. That's one of the playlists that he focuses on a lot, which is quite weird for some of us because not many of us enjoy playing 1v1 so much, but it seems like David de Freitas is relishing the opportunity to test his mechanical skill against players and playing some ones, and we can see how that helps him. Firstly, in the first goal, individual plays, and then secondly, that big match temperament coming in that you need in ones to actually force that overtime goal. And David de Freitas, is he going to do it? And he's doing it! He has just done it! Single-handedly, David de Freitas scoring 3 goals and pushing this game into the side of Steam Dribbles. I'm so excited for David de Freitas because that's one of the players that said we need to look out for. And I think for a while we were thinking that maybe I'm Noob was going to be MVP, but I maybe think, what do you think, guys? Maybe we must consider this position again. Is it going to be I'm Noob or David de Freitas for MVP this game?
We have to go with David. As the stats show, he's MVP. He got his team to a win with a hat-trick. In the last 20 seconds of a game, he decided to take it into his own hands and score 2, right? Then in overtime, he decided to score another one. And I know how excited he was when he got electroshock, because he messaged me on WhatsApp in that case, I got electroshock. And he knows the problems we have with ESCOM. So he decided to help the country and give us some electricity.
He just electroshocked the other team out of contention for game 3, taking game 3. That's just a 2-1 lead now to Team Biltong, although we must say the momentum currently in the side of the Orange team, and if David de Freitas can continue this kind of play, oh boy, we might go to game 7.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. Mr. de Freitas, good evening to you. How are you?
Good evening, gents. I'm good, thanks, and you?
Lovely, lovely. David, just to touch on something briefly, I don't think you understand how important what you did is for your team. You guys were on the verge of being 3-0 down in the series. And if you didn't bring this back for your team, your momentum would have been perhaps lost for the entire series. However, because of your display of some epic solo plays and mechanical skill, we saw you bring a game back for your team. How does it make you feel, bud?
Yeah, well, you said it spot on there. We were losing a bit of momentum and morale, and I told the boys, come on boys, let's pull one back here. Dying seconds, we can do this. And I don't know what happened when I went up for that aerial, but somehow I managed to put that one in. Yeah, and it was awesome. We're amped now, and we're ready to get back in it and pull this back.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
David, something I want to touch on is just walk us through those 3 goals. So firstly, you come up with such an individual kind of brilliance, and you score that goal to come back and level the scores for the evening. Then you score. equalize just to get one back for your team. Then you score the second goal, the fantastic aerial goal to force overtime, a 0-second shutdown for your team. And then in the overtime, you guys were a bit under pressure there from blue team, and then suddenly you come up with the goods again for the third time, and you actually win the game and pull your team back in contention for this epic best of 7 series. So just walk us through that. 3 amazing individual goals, we have to say, actually from you. How did you do it?
Well, I'm gonna quickly quote something that my teammate Major Payne told us during the break. Heisenberg Luke was asking him about Overwatch, about his Overwatch tournament, and then he asked, "Can you give us any tips from your Overwatch competitive tournaments?" And what he said, Major Payne said, well, basically we gotta be quick or be dead, and that's it. So
nice.
We took that into consideration, and yeah, we just try to be quicker. I mean, my first goal, to be honest, I can't really remember and recall how it went. But of course, the second goal to equalize and go into overtime, that goal I'll probably never forget for the rest of my life. That one felt really good. And then that, I just think that amped us so much. But like you said, we were still under pressure in the overtime, and that third goal, I managed to just go up, and I must have got a little touch, just a tiny little touch on it, just enough to get it over the defenders, and yeah, it was amazing.
Lovely, 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 lovely. After your amazing interview, I do hope that your party settings is sharing your voice so that the viewers can at least take in some of what you said. Okay, brilliant. Because I'm sure that he literally stood before the game. If I get MVP, this is what I'm going to say. No, I'm kidding, David. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, David. All the best for the next couple of games.
Thank you.
And yeah, good luck.
Yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing. Big ups.
Will do. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, he's an amazing fellow. Like, I chat to him often, so I know that he understands my humor. He wouldn't really prepare a speech. He's not.
Yeah, I think David's a very, very humble guy, and I think that is something, you know, when you can be humble and calm in under pressure situations, you know, you don't blame your teammates, oh, we're 2-0 behind. You're saying, okay, guys, we can do this, and then you come up with the goods, you know. If your team struggles a bit, you be there and you take it and you do it for them. And that's exactly what he did now, pulling his team over the edge, coming down from a 2-0 deficit after we initially thought that the momentum, or I thought the momentum was on Team Biltong's side, and then just suddenly that swing of momentum, I've never really seen something like that often. There's something that really, really happens in 20 seconds that a game can turn so quick. But here we see on stream, ladies and gentlemen, you don't forfeit, okay? If you play rank, don't forfeit until that final whistle blows, okay? It's not over until the fat lady sings.
Definitely, I couldn't agree with you more. There's no need to forfeit, because even if you lose, you can learn something. Just finish the game, because you never know what's in store.
You never know what's in store. Yes, I definitely agree with you. So just for everyone tuning in right now, this is the best of 7. The first 2 games was won by the blue team, which is called Team Biltong for tonight. And just now we saw an incredible fight back from Team Orange, which is Team Dribbles, who make the score now in the total series 2-1. And we are looking forward to the next couple of games. Hopefully we see a 7-game thriller.
Yeah, no, definitely that'll be an amazing stream to watch if you get a full 7 games. Like I said, I'm sure I've said this before on stream before, but if you're paying for your Wi-Fi, so you might as well use it and get full value. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm just getting word that there is a bit of ping issues. It seems that Samurai Werty's ping was a bit high in the previous game, so they are just trying to sort that out really quickly. Samurai Werty actually, he hails from an area in South Africa, Mpumalanga, and apparently they live quite far on the outskirts as well, so sometimes your internet is a bit unreliable and you can have some ping issues too, but hopefully this will be sorted out quickly and we can continue with the rest of the games.
Yeah, and hopefully this stream reaches out to people like Psyonix and Devon and all of the people who actually have to do with the whole server thing, even if it's just for our local scene to have local servers. It'll just help us and enjoy the game a bit more amongst our locals. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not
Yes.
all about how if we get a grand champ in our country, he's not going to be as good as a grand champ in EU. No, then just give us service for our local scene, and that'll be a start.
Yes, I agree, and this is why one of the reasons why we are doing this is, yes, we are trying to showcase the talent in South Africa, yes, we are trying to grow the scene, but this is also an opportunity for when Psionics or any people in the Rocket League international community looks at what are we doing actually for the scene, because we're offering service, but what are we also doing to promote and grow the scene, and this is one of the things that we're trying to do, so that when they watch us and they see, yes, we do actually have skill, we have casters, we have streamers, we have commentators, we have players, then they can also see, but you know what, these guys will even be better and will enjoy the game so much more if they get local South African service.
Exactly, dear, exactly. They just need to hear our cries because we're shouting nice and loud. And this is the start of Game 4, ladies and gents. It's 2-1 to Boltong. We've got a pinch kickoff at the beginning. It is very unsure which team holds the momentum right now. Let's see what this game has in store. And Luke comes in. I guess David literally sparked a fire under the behinds of his entire team because it's working. It's been 12 seconds. Luke came in with an amazing aerial from a pass from Major Payne, and it's 1-0 to Duovos. Let's do this.
Yes, I agree. I think that goal and that win gave the orange team so much confidence going into game 2. We see Luke going up for a very good aerial there, just as we said he was going to do in these games. And suddenly, for the first time in 4 matches, Team Duovos actually starts off with the lead.
There we go, there we go. It is interesting how that can happen, and that is the importance of momentum. That is the importance of team synergy, and then Luke is being the backbone. The first player went up and missed the save, and he was there to have his back. And then he was there to give a pass and regain some momentum, and just to keep the play in the field of Boltong, or in the Boltong half of the field, so that they can miraculously just come up with a play to get another goal, and then potentially a third, so that they can solidify their win and bring the series to 2-2.
Yes, yes, I agree, and I think that is one thing that we spoke about before. Like we spoke a bit about the battle between the two team captains, right? Pro Noob and Heisenberg Luke for their respective teams. And besides the first game, the other games, all the MVPs and all the goals have actually gone to the other players that, you know, are not the team captains for tonight. Players like I'm Noob, players like Bradley, players like David the Freitas. So it's very important to realize that your team captain doesn't have to be the carry player always. They can sometimes be the player who just makes sure that everyone is on the same page with rotations, making sure that everyone is positive. And Frono coming in with a wonderful goal there, just as we're speaking about team captains, putting one team in for his own team, drawing level 1-1 in game 4 with 3 minutes and 21 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that's very important goal there from Pro Noob. He's probably just telling his team, listen here guys, we need to capitalize, we need to attack that, we need to do it quickly, or else they're going to use this momentum and just use it as productively as possible. And as a team captain, you don't want that. Samurai Worthy there with a shot, barely misses it. I Noob puts it up on the backboard. Pro Noob was there for the follow-up. However, it was a brilliant save by Major Payne, using those impeccable reflexes from Overwatch that allowed Luke to get on the attack. But I Am Noob saved that. Oof, this is good. This is good Rocket League.
This is good Rocket League. I definitely agree, cases end to end. Both teams throwing the good at each other, and both times the saves are there, which is really important, right? You can be a good shooter, you can be a good passer, but you also need to be good in defense sometimes, and that's something not a lot of people practice. They focus on how can I score a freestyle goal or how can I do a roof shot. You need to work on basics, man. If you don't get the basics right, it doesn't help to go to the other fancy stuff. Get the basics right, and defense are one of the cornerstone elements of competitive Rocket League. If you can defend well, and by defend well I don't mean just to keep the ball out of your net, right? Defending also means not to just get the ball out of your net, but also hit the ball to the side, away from the opposing team, maybe even from the safe, pass to your teammate, so that you can quickly go on the counter attack.
Definitely, yeah. That last bit that you added there, where I am now in this game at the competitive rank, a save is not a save if it's not a pass. Oh, sorry, I went quiet there just to see what was going on. Luke just capitalized on that opportunity. As you can see in the replay here, I Am Noob slightly mistimed it. Luke's very good with his field awareness. He sees the Pro Noob coming in from the left. Orange captain against blue captain. Orange captain came up on top. 2-1, 2 draw, boys.
It is like these two team captains listened to me and they said, you know what, this game we're going to carry our teams. And you see ProNoob coming in with Lucas coming in with a goal first, a nice aerial goal, then ProNoob doing level, and now Luke again with a wonderful goal again, just to make it 2-1 and restore the lead. And we see how the scoreboards are reversed now compared to the previous games. And Samurai Worthy again with another goal, making it 2-2. This is really into stuff. 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. Who is going to score the next goal?
Ironically, Samurai typed in the chat there, carry me to victory, and then he comes through and actually contributes for his team.
Yeah, a very clinical goal. It wasn't the most fancy goal, it was just prim and proper Rocket League, making the other team making a mistake, no one in goal, Samurai Worthy there to finish it off and restore the lead to Team Ball, restore the draw and make sure that their team is still in this game.
Yeah, no, dear. From a rotational perspective, just to touch on this, it's both teams can work on their rotations because at the back, it's almost like they're all leaving a spot open somewhere in their half, whether it be the back left or the middle or right behind the line of defense. But they can all work on their rotations, and that the team who does that first and who does it best, they'll definitely come out victorious. Because from the view that I'm watching this game, I can see the entire field. So just to take some note on the rotational play.
That's a very valid point that you're making.
Yeah, like ProNoob just literally hit a ball up to center field. Yes, there was a defender there, but the defender was under no pressure to do anything, so he could make a decent clear. And that all comes down to rotation. Pressure is because of a foundation of rotation. That sounded good. I should take them back.
Yes. I think it's definitely true. Like, rotation is so important. You can't overcommit. You need to communicate where the other person's going. Ideally at this level where, you know, you haven't played with each other a lot and it's a high level extreme game, you need to maybe say, okay guys, let's just have one player in attack, one player in middle, one player in defense, and then once you hit the ball, rotate all the way back so that we can give the other guy an opportunity to come in and keep up the pressure. But we see that working differently with different teams, especially if you practice longer and you have a solid team you play with a lot. Then rotations become a bit more complex and a bit more interesting as well. But just on a basic level, if you can have and Luke coming in there with another goal to finish this game off, and now we are level in this best of 7 series, 2-2. Luke with a hat-trick, putting one in the net, nice little bounce dribble there, and then hitting a hard double flip shot into the net. No one to save it, and we have winner Dribbles.
Yes, no, definitely shame. Samurai Worthy, he was literally camping on the back right boost, waiting for it to spawn. I'm going to say he was camping, but I see his ping's at about 740, so maybe he just got disconnected on where the boost should spawn. But that did force there to be 2 defenders in goal.
Guys, sorry for the interruption.
Luke,
Can we just like make a new server?
And if you give Luke an opportunity like that, he will score.
Hello?
Hi.
Can we just like make a new server? Samurai's ping is like 500.
Okay, cool.
Okay, just leave.
Yes, leave. I'll let Luke know.
Okay, thanks.
One of the captains stepping in, definitely one of his players obviously suffering from ping, and him being the captain doesn't want that to just be. So he just decides to take it upon himself and, hey, I would like a new server, get it done now.
Popping into the voice bot and just making sure that we know. Yeah. Good, it's fine. We will make a new server. We know that sometimes a new server just helps to just almost like reset your connection to the service, and we will be more than happy to do that for these teams tonight. I believe Luke is actually in the party.
I am. Hello everyone.
Mr. Heisenberg Luke, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, guys.
Tell us, Luke, so I mean you guys were down 2-0 in the series. It looks like you were going down 3-0 in the series, and suddenly David came with an amazing 3-goal display of Rocket League, putting you guys back into contention. And then the momentum seems to be on your side in this game. You were keeping the lead all the time, and then in overtime, you scored the winning goal, also getting another hat-trick to your name. Just walk us through this fourth game in the Special 7 series. What did you guys do to make sure that you keep the momentum going in from Game 3 and take it into Game 4 and actually winning this game?
Yeah, well, it all started with David's excellent play. I think he carried us in that game to put us 2-1 up, or to put us to get us to 2-1. So we just took that as a big confidence boost, and we just carried the momentum. Always staying positive. You know, in Rocket League you can never be negative, and that's something we just continue to tell ourselves. And I also told the guys, listen, don't worry about getting 2-0 down, start on a clean slate, and just try your best. And that, I think that helped. So we're happy to get to 2-all.
No, that's brilliant stuff, Luke. And then from my side, you being one of the vets in the roster right now, initially prior to the game starting, we compared the two team captains being yourself and the pro noob. But as I said, you being one of the vets, you being in the competitive scene, you having gone through your Rocket League journey of ups and downs and getting better and going through slumps. So your experience, does that add extra pressure for you to sort of carry the team, or are you able to actually utilize that respect, can I say, that your teammates have for you, and actually use it productively to sort of instigate success for your teammates, for them to feed off of you, if I can say it like that?
Yeah, well, definitely I try to bring my experience to the other guys. So I'm giving them advice constantly, and just laying down a game plan for us. So
nice.
That's definitely something that I'm bringing now to this team. Obviously, because we haven't played together at all, so it's something that's just laying down a few things that I think we should work on, and that just comes from experience and playing the game a lot, I guess. It does add a bit of pressure because you feel like you have to be at your top constantly, and you don't want to be the one to make any mistakes. But,
yes, no, definitely.
Even saying that, it's still very fun to play with these guys, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
No, that's the most important part of everything, I think. But Luke, keep doing what you're doing. I feel, and I'm sure DF will agree, that you guys have the momentum on the side of Drovos. It's 2-2 now. Good luck for the rest of the series, and yeah, have fun.
Cool, thanks everyone. Type 1 in the chat if you want us to win.
Okay. Thanks, Luke.
Cheers, guys.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
So Luke, there was a lasting message to all the viewers. Type 1 in the chat if you want Team Drovos to go on and win the best of 7 series.
That's
so we're just making the server. Everyone just needs to leave the game, and then I'm going to create a new server. And I'll just let the guys know that it's up again. So just for all our viewers, remember this is the best of 7 series, meaning the first team to win 4 games. We are currently tied at the 2-all. The first 2 games were won by Team Biltong, and the second 2 were won by Team Drovos. And Team Drovos definitely having the momentum on their side now. So what do you think, Capes, does Team Biltong need to do to get back into the thick of things?
Biltong needs to forget about the last 2 games, and they need to forget about their initial games. They should treat this like the beginning of the entire series, because we saw at the beginning they performed, they had way better chemistry than what they do now. Their rotational positioning was a lot more solid, and they were feeding off each other's styles. And I feel like that's faded. Whether they've become complacent, I'm unsure. Whether they're lacking in comms, I'm unsure. But we do know that the Team Biltong has the skill to take this series. However, do they acknowledge and respect the fact that Team Drovos also has the skill to take this series? Maybe that's where the problem lies.
Yes. What do you think, Gabe? Do you think both teams are quite equal in skill? That anyone is anyone's game?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And especially on a South African server, you don't know if you go for the 50-50 if you actually have the upper hand going for the 50-50 because of latency. However, we've all decided to play this game at the latency, so you sort of train at the latency, you play unranked at the latency, so you should be able to make a decently calculated prediction win at 50-50. But that's not always the case. But so it's heavy complex as to what needs to happen. I mean, it's 4 games in, it's 2-2. The 50% of the series, Biltong had momentum. The latter 50% of the series, Drovos has momentum. So it's practically like the series had just started.
Yes. Yeah, I think that is true. That basically we're starting all on equal level now. There's no team that has really got the upper hand in terms of games, so it's 2-2. I think maybe the mentality side of things, it is now a bit more in a team on the side of Team Dribbles. But it seems at the moment it's actually an issue with the teams. They are in a server, but they are not with us. So I'm just going to sort that out real quick. So we can just all leave this game then. Seems that they joined just as I created one, and they joined while the previous one was still up here.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Has there been anything interesting in the stream comments there, Mr. DF, as I'm not currently watching the stream?
Yes, I think a lot of people typed 1. They want Team Dribbles to win. But there were some 2s in there as well. I think people just took the initiative and saying, okay, 2 means Team Bolton, I'm waiting for them. But I like the chat. The chat's very active so far, so thanks guys, keep it up. Shout out if you want, maybe do some shout outs in the chat, you know, there are other people maybe watching. Remember, these comments that you type will also be on the stream afterwards when you watch the VOD as well. So if you want to show your mom as well that you were on the internet, then yeah, you can do that too. Okay, so I'm just letting the guys know they can join. Again, let's see, hopefully this works out now. Yes. So we are getting ready for Game 5, ladies and gents.
Game 5, an uneven number, meaning that the series could have been over now. If one team decided to step up and win 4, it could have been done. But both teams are stepping up, and that's why we are where we are now. And Samurai's ping is a lot better. It is orange and not red. As we all know, red is bad. So orange we can deal with.
Yes. And we see all the teams actually, the average latency a little bit over 200, which is playable, definitely playable for South Africans at least. So most of them are on equal footing when it comes to ping issues. And David coming up with the goods there in the first 10 seconds of game number 5.
Dave, I was literally just about to ask you, do you think it could be applicable for Luke and Noob as captains to maybe step back on defense? But then I watched Pro just not even challenge that at all because of perhaps a missed-timed jump prior to him seeing the attack unfolding. And now a brilliant kickoff by David, allowing Major Payne to come up with a shot. And a bird! Bad save, allowing that to go in. These are 2 early goals. It's only been 13 seconds, guys. And we see Drobos up 2-0.
Dribbles coming up with the goods very, very early in this game. They're like, you know what guys, we started off 2-0, but now we are warm. We make it 2-2, and now suddenly 2-0 up in the first 10 seconds of the game. And a very good display there. Firstly the goal from David, and then a good kickoff allowing Major Payne to step up and hit that hard into goal. Pro Noob trying to save it, but coming up very, very close, but unfortunately too much power, too much placement and accuracy, which makes it that the ball go in, and we have a 2-0 lead to Team Dribbles.
Yes, and I mean, if you look at it, you've seen Dribbles have won all the kickoffs that we've had so far. They've literally won possession of all of the kickoffs. So maybe they are listening to Major Payne's advice. And if you're not going to be fast, you're going to be dead. And then you see them overcommitting, but making sure that their bodies or their cars are filling the goals so that they can't concede. And now they're back on the attack. Luke utilizing the demolition strat, giving David a open net to slot it in fundamentally. Loving life, loving this display of basic, solid, foundational rocketry.
Luke coming up there with a savagery on Pro Noob, making him pay, and basically demoing into oblivion, and then coming up with a goal. David the Freitas once again be there at the right time at the right place. 2-3-0 now to Team Dribbles.
I wonder how Pro Noob's going to react after that demo, because trust me when I say he hates being demolished in this game.
Actually, let's talk a little bit about demos, Capes. In general, Capes, is demos yay or nay for you?
Oh, 100% yay. if 110% existed, I would have said 120. But I mean, the thing is, the developers of this game added each element to this game with pros and with cons. However, if you can't make a proper save, you're going to concede a goal. And that's what just happened there. So we see Pro Noob going up with an amazing pass, and Samurai Worthy just, I was actually unsure of what happened there. It looked a lot different the first time I saw it.
I think now that Samurai's Worthy's ping is a lot better, like basically half of what it was in the previous game. That's really given him some confidence as well. So because we all know how difficult and frustrating it is to play with a ping that's in the red. And that's really helped him to go up quickly for that aerial and just get a nice little touch there, putting it past the team orange.
Yeah, Dev, I'll be honest with you, players with ping, I literally just experienced the player side of ping while casting, because that looked nothing like it looked in the replay on my screen, which is very strange.
Yeah. Oh, what? What?
Let's
look at that again. Amazing play there. Firstly from Samurai Worthy putting a nice hard shot on goal. It's not going in. It's bouncing down, and Noob there with an intuitive follow-up to put Team Bolton right back into this game.
And now we've only got a 1-goal difference. Pro Noob looking for the confidence, going for the wall air dribble. He still got it. Does he decide to go for the pass? Samurai Worthy is in a position. He takes a shot. However, Luke is solid. Just puts the ball in the middle. Luke's on the attack, giving his team the momentum. Let's see their rotational positioning now. David de Freitas in the right place at the right time. However, an amazing save by Samurai. This is sick.
This is high-level Rocket League, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive to PlayStation 4.
That was amazing. I thought David was literally, oh no. There we see Pro tying it up. I was just talking about being at the right place at the right time. That wasn't the greatest of clears by David de Freitas, but that angle by Pro Noob is unreal. And that's the benefit of the Dominus. If you utilize the corners of the car where the headlights are situated, you will get an extremely accurate hit on that ball.
I'm thinking now, how did this team come back? They were 3-0 down so quickly, and I think maybe the orange team got a little bit complacent and thought, you know what, it's 3-0, we just need to, play our game and, just control the game and we'll be fine. But blue team were like, no, we're not having any of this, we're going for the kill, man. And suddenly they're back at 3 goals all.
Yeah, no, this was definitely something that is unexpectedly expected in this game. Because a lot can happen. And is that in? No, it's not. A slightly to the left. David rushing back to make that save. And it does so. And it does Iron Noob, a juke to the right.
Beating 2 goals there. Just beating 2 guys there. Closely almost beating another person. Nice play there from David, showing his 1v1 skills. Casey has a message for you in the YouTube comments. Cool Guy says, I hate Capes, he always demos me.
As soon as you said Capes has a message for you, I remember that we were talking about demos. And in all honesty, I knew it was from Cool Guy saying something like that. But yeah, going back to the comment, seeing that the game slowed down a bit, let's wait for this ball to drop down. Luke makes a solid clear. Every element of this game has its pros and cons, and it's been added for a reason, because all of them can be used as pros. So, initially I got tilted when I got demoed, and then I decided to use it to my advantage. Is this on target? It is on target. Does Luke make the save? No, he can't get back in time. A very good shot from Samurai Worthy, a very basic shot, but he decided to. Sometimes the straight shots are the hard shots. If you compare it to a game of pool, it is exactly the same. A straight shot can sometimes be the most difficult.
It is, like you said, just a basic shot, just hit it high and on target, and a goal win. It was actually, I think, initially in Samurai's head, it would probably have been, I need to clear this ball high upfield, and it resulted in a goal because there was no one back. And, coming back from 3 goals down, leading 4-3, this has got to be very, very demoralizing for Team Rebels at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. They have to recuperate, but they don't have much time to recuperate. So they need to do it quickly, but their Team Biltong is rotationally out of position, leaving Pro Noob at the back alone. Can Luke capitalize on this? David up the wall, major pains there. They've got 4-3-2. No, Pro Noob decides to step up as captain and just make sure that safety first. And that gives us a 4-3 victory of Biltong over Drill Boys, giving Biltong the lead 3-2 this evening.
3-2 indeed it is. So Biltong on match point at the moment, and We have Samurai Werty coming in and actually be the MVP again for Team Boltong, scoring
Are we-
2 sick goals and 1 amazing assist as well.
Are we gonna bring Samurai in, or are we gonna bring I Am Noob in?
I think we must maybe bring in Arm Noob because he
agree.
doesn't have the most points at this point, but he has been a very,
He
very
says-
solid and reliable player at this moment. So I'm just going to give him a quick invite to the party.
I agree with you. While we're waiting for him, I'll just finish my statement on demos. Initially, I got tilted when I got demoed, so I decided to utilize that to my advantage and focus on not going out of my way to make a demolition, but adding it to my rotation. So every demo I do is strategic. Therefore, it always puts me or my team at the upper hand once the demo is done. So it gives everybody something to do if you sort of out of position or perhaps you're on low boost. Go for the demo. It's part of the game. And if you get tilted by demos, honest advice, work on it because it's not going anywhere.
Yes,
Thank
I think
you.
that's finishing off that sort of statement with a nice thank you. And that's true, Capes. I definitely agree with you. Like, it's something that is part of the game, these demos. So if you don't want to use demos, then I might as well say, you know what, don't use aerials, okay? Because
Exactly.
you're not, that's a game mechanic. You need to use it to your advantage. And we spoke about, you know, you can do like demos where you just, you know, run around into everybody's face and try to demo them. But you can actually be a tactical demo where you see like, okay, that person is sitting in goal there, taking photos of the entire field in front of him. I'm going to demo him. You go in his face, you demo him immediately. Rotation is messed up for the other team, and your team can come in and score a goal.
Exactly. And it always works.
Yes, and I believe we actually have I'm Noob in this game. I'm Noob, man. How are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
Very good, thanks,
guys-
man. How?
Guys
Yeah.
enjoying the game so far?
We are
Yeah,
loving
man.
it, man. It's amazing, exciting, high level, Rocket League exclusive to the PS4. I mean, what more can we ask for? I mean, we are just fortunate to be casting these games, and the reason why we're bringing in you in I'm Noob is that throughout all these games, you've seemed to be almost like this rock for Team Boltong. You know, before the game started, Capes and I spoke about you being a very solid player, very good in defense, and it actually. To us, it seems like that is really prevalent tonight, where you're making good saves, you're clearing up balls, loose balls, you're clearing good. What do you make of that?
When you got like top players that are striking like champions, the Pro Noob and Samurai QWERTY, you have to just like sit back a little bit, I mean, and just watch the magic happen. So let them do their thing, and I'll just hold back in goals and make sure that I can clean up whatever's left behind.
Nice. Yeah, I see. I Am Noob that in that last game you got the Savior medal. So obviously, congrats on that. That is 3 saves for those who don't know what it means. But it's definitely not easy to just sit back, even though you know your team's capable of it. It's not easy to just sit back. I know that from personal experience as well. So what are you like? What makes it easier for you to just chill and put full trust in a team that you've just met?
We communicating quite well on comms, making sure that everyone knows who's going for the ball, if they're going to leave it or not, and it seems to be working for us quite well. So we know we're not trying to overcommit. There was that one goal where they pinched it right in front, so it was a bit unlucky. And we lost in overtime, but other than that, the communication's been very, very strong, and we know exactly when to attack, when to leave it, and fall back a bit, so you can follow up if need be, which is really, really cool.
Nice.
Okay,
I
so-
mean, that's
Yes, yeah, I just want to say, I'm Noob, like, so going into this game, you guys are on match point. It's 3-2 to Team Boltong. How are you guys feeling going into this game? What are you guys going to do to actually take the series?
Feeling quite confident. When we were 3 goals down in the previous match, I must say we told each other a little bit of a, I don't know, motivational speech. We had to come to Jesus talk, where we decided, no, we can't like lose those 3 goals, and we managed to put it back. So hopefully we can keep that positivity and just make sure that we attack strong and defend strong.
Nice. No, that's brilliant. It's amazing how a motivational speech can actually just boost the morale when needed, or just take momentum and shift it into your advantage. So good, like big ups to you guys for realizing that and doing that and applying it to your game, and wishing you the best of luck for the games forward. If you guys win this, obviously you take the series. So stay focused, man, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, man.
Okay, so while we're waiting for I'm Noob to join his voice party for the team, just to let you guys know, again, this is a best of 7. The first 2 games were won by Team Bolton, which is the blue team. The next 2 games were then won by Team Drovos, the orange team, who then tied up the series basically with 2-2. And now we just saw an epic game of epic goals and epic saves, and Team Bolton came out on top, taking that and making the series score standing at 3-2 to them, which means that they are on match point. So if Team Bolton wins the upcoming game, they are winning the series. So what I want you guys to do so long as well is think of who you will vote for MVP. But remember, this might not be the last game, so don't cast your vote yet.
Yeah, no, definitely. If I'm hoping that Drovos takes this just so that we can have a full 7-game series, because that will just add extra nerves, extra pressure, extra everything to the final game, and one team will buckle, and that's that's what I want to see, because that makes this game exciting.
Definitely. And I'm setting up the server right now for the guys. I'm just going to let them know quickly that they can join.
Awesome. Yeah, and just a heads up to the viewers, obviously, when we will be voting for the MVP of the entire series, it's possibly going to be from the winning team, but it doesn't have to be. You guys can vote for whoever you feel stepped up to the plate this evening and deserves that mystery decal. So there's no rules or anything to it. Whichever player gets the most votes will get the hext.
I think that's an awesome prize.
Yeah, no, let's spice things up. I decided to just, why not?
Yeah, it just gives you the extra motivation to play as well, and to play well and actually win. So this team is having this extra thing to play for tonight. The black market decal is announced by Papa Cakes being the hex decal. So yeah, that's awesome. And as we go now, the team's joining in for game number 6. Remember, Team Bolton currently leading the series 3-2, meaning they are on match point.
Yep. Let's see what this game has in store for us. We see a very neutral kickoff there, staying in the middle, and Samurai were to taking it to the right, going up the wall, but he decides to perhaps not go for the ball. And Bolton's rotation seems good. As we just heard from I Am Noob, he's decided to stay back with full faith in the 2 Samurai and the Pro Noob to allow for them to excel at striking. So let's see how that works out for them this game.
And as you see, orange team putting pressure immediately on the blue team, but Major Payne with an unfortunate miss there. Luke placing the ball, very good placement, just narrowly missing out there. And you see 2 players from blue team on the wall there clearing it downfield. I'm Noob quickly up there to clear the ball downfield, and we can see Luke coming here with a beautiful aerial, as we spoke about him, very good with those. And you see actually Luke's gonna, oh, that's so close, a great pass from Major Payne, and Heisenberg Luke narrowly missing out on that. And blue team still in this game.
Yeah, if that was a goal, it would have been one of the most ironic goals, because Major Payne actually came in and bumped Luke, but then also bumped the ball. But him bumping Luke put Luke in an attacking position. So maybe that's what threw Luke off. He shot it, but just to sort of gain traction again, or maybe the car gained traction without him expecting it to happen. So that would have been extremely ironic.
That would have been indeed. And we see blue team realizing that they just surviving here, and suddenly they decide, you know what, let's make it count. We survived. We need to win this game to win the series. And immediately Pro Noob, as I was saying, the team captain is somehow listening to our stream, trying to prove us wrong or right all the time. And Pro Noob, they're coming in with a wonderful shot. The ball is not cleared well. It's very, very closely touched again by David. The fact is to just put it out of reach, but Pro Noob too fast there, coming in and scoring a goal, meaning that immediately the momentum is on the blue team side, and they will be gunning for that second goal, because the second goal will mean that they are in pole position to take this game, because the games have not been that high scoring. We see like 2-1s and 3-2s of games coming in. So a 2-0 lead is a very, very strong lead in this game.
Yes, definitely. You don't want to give Pro Noob an opportunity like that where all 3 players are in a space of a little triangle. They were literally making a small triangle, so that's definitely a rotational error that they can work on in this game so that they don't get kicked out of the series. But if you give Pro Noob an opportunity like that, he's going to make it count.
Yes, definitely. That's what we spoke about in the beginning as well, is the team who makes the least mistakes and the team who capitalize on those mistakes will be the team who win. And now we see that Drew was making a bit, just not big mistakes, just small mistakes, but then that's allowing the blue team to capitalize on that opportunity of that mistake and putting the goal in net, which they are doing quite well in the last two games again.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is going to come down to, I think, this game, who's faster, who's more mechanically confident, and who's more mechanically sound. So it's very difficult to judge a game like this because we can see the play was quite fast for the first minute, but now for the last minute it's been quite slow. Nobody really on the attack, nobody with any momentum. It's very, very, very unorthodox Rocket League for a game of this caliber, because if Biltong takes this game and they're already up 1-0, then they take the series. So Drovos, if you want this, you need to step up, guys.
A big message coming in there from Papa Caves to Team Drovos. And just as we were talking, I'm Noob, clearing the ball, dunking it over the player, and just making sure that they keep the lead. 2-0 lead with 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. This is a very, very good lead for Team Blue, but I'm one of the people who are of opinion that the 2-0 lead is one of the most difficult leads, because you either need to decide, you know what, I'm going to play my game, maybe try and score another goal, or I might sit back and allow the pressure and just keep my 2-goal lead. But the thing is, immediately if you do concede another goal, it doesn't matter if there's 2 seconds on the clock or 10 seconds on the clock, that team on the other side will know that they have a chance to score another quick one to make the scores level. So 2-0 lead, in my opinion, is very, very difficult, and you need to tactically think about how am I going to see out the rest of the game.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. It's people think this game is just based on mechanical skill or on physical skill or this or that. No, there's so much more to it. As you can see here, the momentum is with Biltong, the confidence, like being comfortable with them. And there's just absolutely no rotation right now coming from Drovos. So that allowed Pro Noob to capitalize, which we all know very well that he can do. So, is this over, DF? What do you think?
I think it looks like it might be over. A 3-0 deficit is a very, very difficult to climb based on what we've seen tonight with these kind of low-scoring games, with the kind of momentum that Team Biltong has. But I'm not counting out Team Orange just yet. And as I say that, Ronan's like, you know what? Let me make this easy for you. And he scores another goal to make it 4-0 to the Team Biltong. What I wanted to say was that, as we saw in that game 3, where Team Drovos were down 2-0, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, they come back with about 15 seconds left on the clock, and they score 2 goals, take it into overtime, and then in the overtime, they were the fighters coming up with the goods and making it 3-2, and actually making them take that game and actually getting a lot of momentum going into the second game. So yes, it's not over yet, but this game might be a very, very tall order for Team Drovos to actually take home.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that doesn't mean that they were, let's say, the worst of the two teams. Well, technically, if you lose, whatever, let's leave cliches. It just means that in this game, they didn't step up as much as Biltong did.
Yes. And we see now the clock being run down, and that, ladies and gentlemen, Team Biltong, who wins game number 6, which also means that they take this best of 7 series 4 games to 2. Before we start wrapping up things, guys, now is the time to vote for your MVP of the whole series in chat. Okay?
Yes,
so the
please.
players' names are on screen right now. Now you start voting for your MVP. I will keep an eye on the chat, and then we will announce an MVP for the whole series. But first, we are going to do an MVP of this specific game. And because I feel that Pro Noob's voice was muted in the first interview, I think let's give him another chance, Capes,
yes,
to give him an interview. So we will now have an interview with Pro Noob, the MVP of this specific game, game number 6, right? But as we are doing the interview with him, I would like you guys to cast your vote for the MVP of the whole series. So I'm just going to invite Pro Noob real quick.
All right, perfect. Yeah, guys, remember, it doesn't necessarily have to be the player of the winning team of the series. However, it's more probable that it will be, but your votes can be however you feel fit. It is your vote at the end of the day. Cool. Dev should be getting Mr. Pro Noob into the party as we speak. So hopefully this time we can give him a heads up just to change his party settings prior to anything else taking place.
Okay, so I invited Pro Noob now. It's on his way. You just need to, yeah, so I see the votes coming in. I see some people are even voting for us, Capes. So some people are voting for you, some people are voting for me. They're saying the casters should maybe even be the MVPs of this tournament. Thanks guys, we appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And Pro Noob, I think he's in the party right now. Pro Noob, you sure that your party, your voice is not muted this time?
Probably, yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it is.
So, so Pro Noob, what we first would like to just say is that this is the interview now for being the MVP of game number 6. So, you guys showing a big match temperament there in game number 6 as Team Biltong. You were up 2-0 in the first two games. Then Team Orange came back, make it 2-2, and then you guys got back into your groove and you make it, taking the next 2 games and making it 4-2. Just quickly walk us through that, like the ups and downs. First you guys were up by 2-0, suddenly it's a draw, and then suddenly you guys take it back to 4-2. Just walk us out, like maybe from the mentality side of things. How did you guys keep positive and keep believing that you can actually win this best of 7 series?
In the first 2 games we felt really good, but we just I don't know, we underestimated the other team, and we chilled in the 3rd and 4th game, and we didn't play good. And then we just decided to get it back quickly, and with that 3-0 at the start, and then we got it back, we were in a good groove, and we went down from there.
Nice, Pro. First of all, again, congrats. This is your second MVP of the series. However, because I play with you personally quite often, I feel that you might have been holding back. I didn't see many dribbles. I didn't see one flick. There were a couple of solid aerials of some sort. Is that because of the pressure of perhaps being the team captain? You felt the need to assign yourself a role and stick to that role? Or was that just because the game sort of accommodated for that style of play? So you just decided to be flexible and to adapt to what the game was asking of you?
Yeah, it was a bit of the adapting, but I tried to stay back, and I could always try and get back if we overcommitted. I didn't try and overcommit with a dribble and stuff, because if I missed, we would have probably get scored on.
Alright. So you practically just compromised your style of play to adapt to the team so that you could fit in with the rotational play, which would at the end of the day benefit your team. And obviously that worked, because I mean you guys just won the series.
Yeah, it was fun.
Alright.
Short and sweet.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, thanks, Pro Noob. I think as a team captain, you played really well as well. Really being that also a rock for your team. So excellent win. I think for playing with guys you don't necessarily play with. So yeah, congratulations on being the MVP as well for game 1 and game 6. And yeah, we will chat to you later, man. Keep well.
Yeah, Pro Noob, Samurai, if you guys could just not go anywhere, just give us about 5 minutes. But you can leave the voice chat, but just don't log off the console just yet.
Okay.
No problem.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Okay. So, Capes, I've been watching the comment section now, and I think we have a decision.
Wait, don't say anything just yet.
Okay. No, I won't.
Don't you want to leave the screen so that the viewers can actually see us in the lobby and they can actually see the winner receiving the hex?
Oh, that's a very good idea. Okay, let me do that. Let me invite our winner. So long.
Who is the winner? Invite him into the voice chat as well.
Okay. Yes, I invited our winner into the voice chat as well.
Perfect.
So I've been looking at.
No, I'm kidding.
Alright. So I am going to invite the winners along. So I've looked at the comment section and I think we do have a winner. I'm just going to invite him quickly to the party. So I invited him to the voice party. And I've also invited him. I will tell you now. I'm just keeping it a little bit secret for now. You can just invite him when it pops up in the PlayStation menu, in the Rocket League PlayStation party. Then people will also see him join. So let me just see if he's in a voice party already. He's not in a voice party already. So hopefully he joins soon.
Yeah, hopefully he joins because I can know who he is. Nobody's joining. I don't know. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ooh,
so looking at the So I looked at the comment section. I took you guys' vote. It seems to me that the overwhelming favorite as well to get MVP was none other than Samurai Worthy.
Nice. Well, let's get him into the voice chat and tell him exactly why he's back. And it's weird because he actually sneaked his way back into the voice chat without us knowing.
Yes, I thought maybe was he like thinking he's going to be the MVP or what? What was he doing in the party?
Oh snap! Yeah. Unless his brother's with him and he could see the stream and he could see what was going on. Sneaky.
So I invited him. Yeah, he's almost joining. Yeah, Samurai Worthy, can you hear us, man?
Yes, I can.
Samurai, what's up, my buddy?
I'm good, man.
So first
congratulations, bro.
Is your brother with you?
No, he's not next to me. Right.
Oh, so you haven't been watching the stream?
No, I haven't. Why?
Okay, perfect. Well, Df, would you mind me telling him? Or would you like to tell him?
Yeah, no, you take the honor set, Capes.
So, Samurai, because I felt frisky, I've decided that we're going to run a little vote to find out who was the favorite and the MVP of the entire series. And all the viewers voted, and you were the MVP. So, which is quite weird because initially we were talking and you asked me, what can I do to get my hands on a Hex? And there you go, buddy. Congratulations.
Oh,
you are... Yeah, man, this is your prize for being MVP.
Thanks, man.
So congrats, bud. And once again, it's amazing how far you've come since we played with you a few months back. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working hard. And enjoy the Hex.
Yeah, sure. I would actually like you to equip it now for the viewers as well, Werthy.
Yeah, man.
So they can see what it looks like. I see Ornok already zooming in on his car for the viewers. Oh,
nice.
That looks sick, man.
And the South African flag on his antenna. He's proud. He's proud. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the people on stream now, Samurai, about tonight's events and the series?
Let's do this again. That's about it.
Yeah, man, like, I think I'm just gonna echo what Gabe said. Like, we've been talking before the games as well. Like, there's a few of you guys who really came like a far way now in the scene. Like, we know when you started out and where you are now, it's such a massive difference. And I know if you've acquired and reached some of your goals, for example, in rank, you're actually quite highly ranked as well nowadays. So it just shows you that the hard work that you put in and the practice actually pays off. And tonight, I mean, you've played with very good people around you, but you showed that tonight you can actually carry your team to victory. I think on the other team, we saw David DeFreitas coming in as well with a hat-trick, and Luke coming in with a hat-trick, and then your team Pro Noob as well. But then you also did it as well. And I think throughout all the games, even with a ping of over 400, you still played well, man. It just shows you that not even a high latency can put you off your game, and that just shows as well, like, besides mechanical skill and playing well, you're also very good mentally, and that's really important when going into competitive Rocket League scene. So what we just want to say is that keep it up, like Gabe said, and we really hope to see you one day in the competitive scene as one of the best players that South Africa has to offer, because definitely what we've seen here tonight is the talent, especially on PS4, and the players playing really, really well and showing, you know what, I can actually play for good teams, and you've showed that tonight. So congratulations, bud. I think enjoy that. Enjoy your Hex, enjoy the sweet taste of victory as well, And I hope you have a great evening further, man.
I really
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
that. It's been
Epic.
really fun trying to like get my rank up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah.
That's it.
No. All right,
That's
thanks.
Alright,
Thanks,
sweet
Samurai.
Samurai.
We appreciate it, man. You know, and we'll chat later.
Alright, man. Peace.
Cheers.
Okay, so yeah, I think we will just say our goodbyes. So, Capes, I think maybe you can start first and just wrap up some of the things you saw tonight as well for us, please.
Yeah, well, definitely, guys. You can see the potential that lies in the skill in the local scene of our local scene. So the most important part is about just getting more people aware of Rocket League as an esport, especially locally. Tell your friends, get some people together when the streams are up. Get a few drinks, get a few beers, get a braai, get a hot dog, get cool drink, get Oros, get whatever you need. Get as many people together. Just watch the streams, come show some love. It really is fun, and we're just trying to make it as fun as we can for you guys. And it just gets better, guys. Like dfthaman and Heisenberg Luke, they've got big things in store for you guys. To start off with the PC exclusive that's coming up next week. I'm not sure if I was supposed to say that, but it's too late now. I can't go back. I'm sorry, dear. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. I'll repeat it again as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Capes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. So yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Firstly, I want to say thank you to our viewers. Like without this, I mean, we can cast, but if there's no one to watch it, right? What is the cost even worth? So I appreciate you guys tuning in to watch. I see we averaged a lot of viewers as well for tonight, which is absolutely brilliant. At the moment, we are standing at 520 comments, which is amazing. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being active in the comments as well. I really appreciate it. You guys, this really showing support for us as well, but also support for the local scene, and that's really awesome. I really appreciate it. Thanks then to our players. I'm just going to repeat it. It was a best of 7 series. It was 1-4-2 by Team Biltong. Team Biltong then consisting of Samurai Werty, who was also the MVP of the entire series, as well as Pro Noob and I Am Noob. So congratulations to Team Biltong on taking things home tonight. Well-deserved victory, and we saw some amazing play. So for the guys who watch this and want to share it with your friends, this link will also be available as a VOD later, so you can share it and people can watch it when they have some time as well. Then I want to say thanks, Capes. Thanks for streaming. So Capes was actually announced as the main streamer for tonight. Caster, sorry. He was announced as the main caster for tonight, and he was so kind to ask me to co-commentate with him. So I appreciate it. It was a privilege as well for me. The first time casting with Capes, and I think I really enjoyed it as well. Like I would love to cast with you again. And yeah, special shout out to Horndorf SA, who's also been active in the comments, and who's also the guy actually streaming this right now. So he's a South African, but at the moment he's in the UK, and he's kind enough to stream these 6 mans for us. So thanks, Horndorf. We also really appreciate the work you've done and how you support the Rocket League community in South Africa, even though you're not in South Africa anymore. Then, as Kate said, like on Sunday at 8 o'clock, this coming Sunday, the 6th of August at 8 p.m, we are going to have another exciting 6 mans for you. So this 6 mans is going to be a PC exclusive. Right, so tonight it was, as you guys know, the casting, the streaming, as well as the player base were all PlayStation 4 exclusive. So on Sunday, we are reversing those roles. So on Sunday at 8 o'clock, we will have a PC exclusive 6 mans, also a best of 7 series, and it will be casted by Alf, who has also been joining us in the comments. So thanks, Alf, for agreeing to cast that for us. If you guys are not sure where to find the details of the stream or how to get in touch with us, please look in the description of this video. The South African Facebook group of Rocket League's link is on there, so go join the Facebook group, go and comment on there, tell us how much you enjoy these streams. There's also the Discord. So guys, for those of you who don't have Discord, it's a very nice app that you download, and you connect like to certain servers, like the South African Discord service, where we post all the links. We have a big community on there, sharing everything with us, with each other, like links, videos, clips, you name it. We announced that on our Discord server as well, so go join that, and there you will also find the details of the upcoming stream as well. For those of you who are on Steam, we also have a Rocket League notifications group. In the description, my Steam ID is linked there, so just send me an invite and tell me you want to be added to the Rocket League notifications group, and I will add you, no problem. For those guys on the PS4, we also have a PlayStation 4 group that we post all our announcements on, so my PSN ID and Luke and Capes and Horndog's PSNs is in the video, so I mean, sure, just send us a message and we will add you to the group, no problem, because we post all our announcements on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Steam, on PlayStation, just to make sure that all you guys are informed about what we are doing, trying to grow the Rocket League scene and giving all these budding, great competitive players a chance of exposure. So, is there anything that I left out, Capes?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything head to toe.
Alright.
So yeah.
Alright, thanks guys. We appreciate you tuning in tonight, and have a good evening further, and then I'll see you guys on Sunday. Good night.
Sweet peace. Good night.